The Division Alpha is back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Season 3 of Neo Racing League. 5 red lights have gone, and the wheels are spinning yet again for the first time this season in Neo Racing League. Good start by Jay, good start by Ramos. Bobby jumped Gary for the third place. Although they're fighting side by side, heading into turn 3 and 4. Still side by side. McLaren, but now Gary Gator retakes it. Gary Gator has had the pole position in Chinese Grand Prix, which we had last time around. But hasn't capitalized on that. But we see Gary Gator get ahead of Jay before the start finish straight, and we'll get DRS on the start finish straight, and we'll pull away from Jay. Jolin is pitted for the inters already, so Jolin is going for a gamble here, thinking that in the next couple of laps, or in the next few minutes, the track will get wet. And, yeah, both of them have entered the pits now, but Jay gets a 10-second penalty. The third driver to get that penalty. And also Jan Ramos' teammates, both Mercedes. 10-second penalty for the same thing. It's 4 drivers now with the 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. They just cannot slow the car down heading into the pits. His moves right now with how lucky he is. The Sparkster has retired, and that's a safety car. But he's not attacking Jay. Letting Jay do the job for him, as Jay just lost the car. Extras behind Ramos. So this Ramos getting closer to Kelly. But at the moment, contact between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. And I believe Ramos has just lost a part of his wing. Has no end plate. Yeah, but we saw Kelly and Ramos have a collision which made Ramos lose the part of his front wing. Yeah, front wing end plate on the left side has been totally removed. But now Jay on the inside of Kelly, turning into turn 1, and he gets ahead the South African over the Red Bull. And Jay will push on to pull away from his teammate and his current P2 in Kelly, who's now just received 15 seconds of penalties in total. But Kelly just broke himself, but there was contact with Jay, and Kelly is back in the second place. Kelly just doesn't care about the penalties. Oh, okay, we let him through. Never mind. Oh, immediately created the drama, but most of the drama. Yeah. Thank God Kelly saved me from that one. But yeah, Kelly gave back that position to Jay. Felt that it wasn't the fair overtake there on him. But yeah, kudos to Kelly on that one. Although it wouldn't help him necessarily if Ramos would now go on the attack of Kelly, and Ramos gets ahead of the Red Bull. We'll take third place, but he breaks himself. Tries to take this now McLaren will be the ones to start off the season on a high note. As we see now, Mr. Gary Gator 13 crossed the finish line, and for the first time he can call himself the Neo Racing League race winner.
The first race of the season saw Gary Gator take a dominant victory and therefore take all 20 points home. A maximum weekend for the McLaren driver, but 2-3 for the 2 Mercedes isn't a bad result either. And they will find themselves in the lead of the constructors, 26 points to 20 for McLaren. Then we headed under the lights to Saudi Arabia with a very recognisable voice.
And we're going to go to the 5 lights for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's lights and it's action. We're away in Saudi Arabia. Hanflap Kelly jumps Mali Priek on the start, and Yuns Rumbus and Gary Gator are side by side. Yuns Rumbus clears out the McLaren, and Hamflap Kelly, who's had a supreme start, is up into P3, but it's side by side up ahead. Gary backs out, but all these drivers are already forming a sequence as the top 4 break away. He's got Jens Rombos' teammate Jay ahead of him. He lost 2 positions somewhere in that first or second sector, and Gary Gator is looking to claim them back. He's alongside Jay. Jay gets the exit, but Gary takes the position. Jens Rombos sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Gary tucks himself in second or third place even, as Jay was looking to fight back. Speaking of second, Hamflap Kelly, what a start he had. And he's going to be hoping that the gaps start to build up. Who was that? That was Raikkonen going round. And he drops down to 9th place. Hamflap Kelly has crashed into the wall in Sector 1. Gary will be looking in his rearview mirror as he has a problem with the DRS Delta, or safety car Delta, I would presume, and that costs Jay. As Gary suddenly brakes, and now he has to replace his front wing. And I think for the lower points positions, it'll be whoever can stay out of penalties that can take advantage and take advantage. Gary Gator gets through. He's up into P5. In the meantime, Mali Priek and Marchmeister out of the final corner. Mali had the outside line. Who has the DRS? It's going to be Marchmeister, who defends to the inside line. But he doesn't even need the inside line. He actually tucks straight once again. Debo right behind and ready to pressure. He spots a gap around the outside. He goes for it. Mali cuts it off. And Debob is forced to stay where he is. 6 seconds worth of penalties, and that's the end of his race. Coming under threat, actually, of disqualification. Gary Gator has retired from the session. He's binned it. Yellow flags out again. Big Cat Jump has no front wing. It looks like he's trying to retire himself from the session, maybe. Or he could just be trying to get back on track. Actually, okay. No, he was trying to retire from the session. And that's our first full safety car of the race. Raikkonen, he joins him with another 3-second time penalty. And Jay looking around the outside. The Aston Martin allows him the space. Can he clip through on the difficult section to go through by yourself? And Raikkonen just backs out. He realises that's something that the Mercedes is incredibly good at. The defence is the biggest benefit of his... Well, it's his biggest component. Although Mali makes it look easy to get past Jens Rombos. As he spins out of the first corner, Jens Rombos comes across the line. He wins in Saudi Arabia.
A chaotic Saudi Arabian Grand Prix saw Jay have an incredible comeback, but he's still 4 points behind your new championship leader, Jens Rombos, on 32. Gary Gator with the DNF, not gaining any points, and so finishing down in 3rd place. Mercedes now 3 times the points of McLaren as we headed to our first sprint weekend of the season at the Mexican Grand Prix.
3, 4, 5 red lights. And the wheels are spinning in Mexican Sprint. A good launch by Jay. Mantis is also had a good start there, but look at Rambos, who is slipstreaming his teammate, but doesn't have any room to try and look for a move on both of them, or at least one of them. Bit of a contact between Jay and Mantis. Mantis is fighting hard against Jay through the first 3 corners, and Mantis gets ahead of Jay to take the lead. Nibidi against David against D-Bob. David is looking on the outside. Nibidi has no front wing end plate on the left hand side, which will allow David to try and pull through. Bit of a squeezing there between the two, but David gets ahead of Nibidi, and the points position, final points position at the moment belongs to the Haas driver of David. But D-Bob is looking on the inside move, heading into the left-hander followed by a right-hander. Side by side going these Ferrari and RB, who will come ahead, and it looks like, yeah, Ferrari stays ahead for the time being. Switching back to Mantis actually, who is pushing on, looking in the outside of Rambo, switching to the inside for a late move. Will he make it stick? I tell you what, he did actually make it stick. But that's a great move there by the Sauber there of Pumped Mantis. But nevertheless, JPS has crossed the finish line to take his first ever victory in the sprint, and also Jens Rambos takes the 2nd place. It's a Mercedes 1-2 in this first sprint of the season. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the wheels are spinning for the Mexican Grand Prix. Good start, a good launch by these two. Mantis lost out a bit, has David nearly behind him. Jacob actually jumped Neo and Liberty. Got 2 positions, but has Neo on the inside. No, it's David. I apologize. David on the inside. Jacob stays where he is in 5th. Nibidi and Neo fighting side by side, heading into the 3rd corner. As Nibidi gets ahead of him, and also Debob's now looking for a move on the inside of Neo. And backs out of it. Off the 3rd corner. He does have DRS on Brambos. Will he be able to make a move of some sort? Yes, he switches to the inside. Will he make his thing just like in the sprint? Yes, he does again. What the move from the Sauber driver for pumped Mantis. Time will tell actually when one of those Mercedes is going to pit. And there's another cut that's in for Mantis. That's an interesting one. The question is who's it going to be? It's going to be Jay who's going into the pits then, as the first Mercedes driver to enter the pits to answer to the undercut of Mantis. Jay, which tire is he going to switch? He's going to switch to hard tire, so he's going to go on the long stint. Question is, will Mantis get ahead of Jay? Jay is just approaching the pit exit. Will Mantis get ahead of him? Jay is now approached the pit exit, but Mantis gets ahead of him eventually, and Mantis has pulled out an undercut that he gets ahead of the Sauber and will inherit that position. Mantis going into the pits yet again, and he gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and stay behind them both by quite a margin, and now he's back in the lead, and the restart has now commenced with Rambos, Neo, Debob, Jay and Mantis. Jay is already on the attack, on the RB, and potentially on the Haas if he's brave enough. No, he tries to only does the RB. He only gets ahead of the RB, but he's gonna have much better traction against the Haas of Neo. Neo's gonna fight it back though, he's using battery to fight against it. On the inside goes Jay. Will he be able to... Doesn't make it stick necessarily. Neo just went off the track there. And it looks like Jay is most likely gonna stay at least 3rd. That is if he doesn't make a mistake of some kind. He will get DRS on this start-finish straight. Heading into the turn 1. It's a final lap of this race. Jay on the inside on the soft compound tires against the Haas of Neo, who is still fighting back. Looking on the outside, trying to stick through on the outside, doesn't have quite on the inside. Mantis just spun it round and lost the position to Debop as a result of that. And the one who's going to come away with it at the end is Jones Rambos, who's taking the 2nd victory in a row.
Rambos took the victory home in Mexico, and so extended his advantage as 7 points ahead of Garrigator as the top 2 started to demonstrate themselves as the 2 in contention for the title after 3 of the 14 rounds, and the Mercedes are absolutely wiping the floor with everybody else in the constructors. But this could all change in Monza.
The lights are flashing, 5 lights are out for the Italian Grand Prix. And the wheels are spinning, and it's a good start from Rambos, it's a decent start from Jay, it's a much better start from Marcel, who's already ahead of Jay, and also Temp, who got ahead of him. It's Temp and Marcel side by side heading into the 1st quarter, with Rambos comfortably leading. Is it Marcel or is it going to be Temp of the exit of the 2nd corner? It is Marcel who's keeping that P2, but Temp is going to keep him honest or on the inside, who switches to the outside, and Temp, it looks like Temp is gonna get him around the outside. Dropping the position to Neo, but he's now endangered from Parkster, who's gained some positions there. He's fighting with Mantis for P6 at the moment. Parkster on the inside of Ascari. A bit of a contact between the 2 makes Mantis go off the track, and Parkster inherits that 6th place, but Mantis is not going to give it up just yet, as they're going through this final straight before we reach Parabolica. Garrigator is now ahead of Debop, to take 8th position. Bergster and Mantis going through Parabolica as Mantis goes around the outside there. Will he make it stick? Will he make it stick? Looks like he's gonna make it, but Bergster is not gonna give it up just yet. Temp sets the fastest lap of the race. He actually took the lead from Rambos, and he's now the leader of this race, ahead of the Mercedes. Rambos narrowly misses his teammate there on the first corner, allowing Marcel to capitalize on that opportunity, but doesn't have enough space and traction to take that position. Bergster and Metis is still squabbling, allowing Garrigator now to come through around the inside through 2 of them, and Garrigator is now P6. For Garrigator, we have a yellow flag, and he retired, and that's a safety car. So some sort of exchange between Neo and Bebop for P6. Neo gets ahead of Bebop and will inherit that position. We saw Rambos and Jade, Jesus Christ, Rambos and Temparo in the first and second corners. And Tim just made a mistake there, and Jay got caught up in it, and Marcel capitalizes on it and gets ahead of Jay. Getting closer and closer, but not close enough. Marcel makes a mistake there, which will allow Jay to capitalize on it. He looks on the inside of Lesmo 1. Will he make it stick? Not quite. Marcel will keep it for now. But it goes Mantis and Jay, who have a collision. And Jay is round. Mantis is slowing down. Devo gets a position, then also Neo. As a result of that, does Jay have damage? He does have damage on the right side. Switching to Rambos. Oh my god, what the hell just happened there? Rambos outbroke himself, just hit Temp behind him and lets him through. But Rambos will get much better exit and traction off the Parabolica, as they're now going through the start-finish straight, with Rambos pushing on his battery against former Mojo Down's former Nibidi. As they go now around the first corner, Rambos barely makes that corner, and Temp will keep that place. Brilliant. Rambos is getting closer into Parabolica, but the question is, will it make it stick? Final lap is now underway between Temp and Rambos. Rambos is going to push on his battery. Look how much he's gaining with that against Temp, who is going to try and fight it back if he can. Rambos has the lead, but Temp on the inside, contact between the two forces Rambos off the track, cut the corner. 10-second penalty for Rambos. We're now going to approach the start-finish line for the final time of this race. Jans Rambos is going to take it on track first, but it's going to be Temp with his first league victory.
Temp taking victory on track, but Jans Rambos taking victory in the race saw Rambos extend his advantage even further over Jay, up to 17 points now. And it was looking like a difficult task for Jay to surmount him. Monaco beckoned, and anything could happen in the Principality.
And we're going to go to the 5 lights. It's the Monaco Grand Prix, and it's lights. It's action in the Principality. Marcel gets off to a good start, looks to cover off Jay into turn 1. Indeed he does. Temp's already out of the session. We've already got our first safety car. We didn't even make it to the first corner. Didn't really have the opportunity to have any heroics into Sandoval because of how quickly we went to red flag racing. Green flag racing, though, is back. Jolin does that. I think we might even see him coming into the pits. Gary already picking up 3 more seconds worth of penalties as Big Cat Jump retires from the session. Virtual safety car is back out. Strategy goes out the window as Gary's serving his penalty as well. Hards go on. Jolin retires from the session. Virtual safety car number 3. Are we going to run out of safety cars? No, it's a full safety car. Are we actually genuinely going to run out of safety cars? Marcel's going to take us back to green flag racing nonetheless. No, he's not. And Marcel, who looked so set, he's now completely lost his front wing. David's actually fallen out of the DRS of anybody ahead of him as Gary Gator sends it down the inside. contact between himself and Pump Mantis, but Gary forces his way through, knowing that Gary has gone for moves here in the past. Yellow flag, Marcel, I think that is. And Gary's going to send it. He is going to send it. Huge move. Yuns Rumbus cuts the corner just ahead of them, and Gary comes out ahead of March. Looking to the outside line. Impossible move, but Gary holds on. Gary's retired. Gary's crashed. How's he crashed there? What? I just said, how did he crash there? Marchmeister has crashed there as well. Jay is going to come across the line, and he takes victory in the Principality. JPS is victorious once again.
3 drivers finished, 2 of them were the championship contenders, and Jay this time ended up on top of Yuns Rumbos, closing the gap for the first time this season down to 12 points, with Pump Mantis in third. 45 off Jay. So, yeah, it was certainly looking like the top 2 were going to be the 2 in contention. Hungary beckon next for a dramatic race.
We're going to go to the 5 lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's lights. And it's action. We are away at the Hungaroring. Jay gets a solid start. Marcel gets a poor one. He's been overtaken by Yuns Roberts. He could be overtaken by Kelly heading into turn 1. But no, he breaks late. And Kelly has to hold on to the outside line. He takes the position, though. And they're going to slot in the 2 Mercedes at the front. Marcel could be under pressure from David. Not quite as they head into the corner. Out of the corner, though, Marcel just has exactly the right defensive positioning. And he holds on to P4, just like he did in Monaco last time out. There goes Marcel into the wall. And maybe he does have front wing damage now. And the pace has just been all on Jay. Handflap Kelly dives to the inside on Yuns Rumbos in turn 1. Rumbos allows him the space, and through goes the Red Bull. And we've got the top 3 drivers growing their gap to the cars behind. I'm going to check the tyres, actually, as we've got a yellow flag out. Marcel round again. Everybody in... Oops, Marcel scores a safety car. Don't tell me he's parked. Don't tell me. Oh, I think he's just spun around, to be fair. He's going to put the power down. The pedal is to the metal, and we're getting racing again here in Hungary. Mantis is looking to attack into turn 1. Jay just looking to attack as well into turn 1, but he's being attacked himself by Kelly, who pushes his way through. He's up back into the podium positions, and Jay is left chasing. The birthday boy puts the power down right on the rear of the Sauber. He's going to look to the inside line, heading into turn 1, but Mantis has decided that attack is the best form of defense. He's going to send himself past Rumbos, but he's gone off. And Kelly takes the lead. Rumbos, I think he's been scared off by Handflap Kelly. And that's handed the lead to the RB. David defends the inside line. Marcel almost pushes himself into the wall trying to get past, but he makes the move stick. And Mantis, in the meantime, gets through on Neo. Neo trying to fight back on the exit. But I don't think he's going to have enough. The Sauber lighting this race up. He's going to hand the position back to Neo for the time being. But, yeah, the Sauber trying to get out of that Haas sandwich, who he's quick, but he just needs to string a few laps together. Mantis going for the move on Neo. He takes that position. Neo trying to fight back. What an insane exit from the Haas. That could see him fighting. Marcel retires from the session. Neo climbs back up. Mantis clings onto that inside line. Neo's got the fresher tyres. Mantis has the softer ones, and he is going to jump up into that second place. How many penalties has he got? Not penalties, warnings. Is he on his final warning? He picked one up lap 11. He picked one up lap 15. He is indeed. He's picked up a penalty. No way. No way. Commentator's curse. Neo's not made the breach of the gap that he would have wanted to on that lap, although there was clearly a mistake from Kelly out of that final corner, because Neo has gained 3 tenths on him through that final one. He needs to gain here at least 2 seconds on Handflap Kelly if he wants any chance of winning this race. How many warnings has Kelly got? Is he on for
Oh, he picked one up on lap 4, picked one up on lap 12. I'm expecting to leave this pause menu and him for 3 seconds. Oh, that's exciting. What's... He's got one corner to avoid a penalty. It's one of the most difficult corners to pick up a penalty. And it looks like Neo is going to take it. Kelly is going to come up to the line. He wins on track. But Neo wins in the Neo Racing League for the very first time. Hamflap Kelly losing out on the victory to Neo brought 2 new competitors to the fore. But it was a pretty decent race for Jens Rumbos, who extended his advantage to 18 points. And then Singapore beckoned for the drivers in a wet to dry race. We're going to go to the 5 lights for the Singapore Grand Prix. It's lights. And it's action. We're away in Singapore. Fizz gets an absolutely sensational start. Jay's slow off the line. They're 3 wide as they head into turn 1. Fizz takes the lead. Down the inside goes Rumbos. Down the inside goes Gary. He sends a huge move. But Kelly holds on around the outside. Mantis now is trying to attack. Matt is in there in the mixer somewhere. They're 3 wide once again. This is further back this time. It's the battle for P5 and Gary stays ahead. Neo is to the inside of D-Bob. D-Bob getting the exit and getting back ahead. Jens Rumbos pulls the trigger. The wets are going to come off. The inters are going to come on. And we'll see where he comes out in relation to JPS. Could have fumbled here. Jolin's certainly fumbled with the strategy. And he's going to come in at the end. David comes around the final couple of corners. Around the final corner now. And he is going to overtake Jens Rumbos. Gary up to 12 seconds worth of penalties now. Jolin's in the pits. Rumbos and Jay down the straight. Rumbos is about to take his pit exit line. Okay, I mean, I think you all saw what happened there. Jens Rumbos just a little bit eager on the throttle and picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could be huge for the race, but the 2 title contenders side by side. There's a punt in the rear. JPS has been touched in the rear by Hamflap Kelly. That could be absolutely vital in this battle because now it hands the advantage to Jens Rumbos. Yeah, Mantis closing in on Fizz, pulling alongside. And yeah, Mantis to the inside. Unsurprisingly, taking the lead of the race. Although Fizz is going to try and fight this one back. But Mantis has just got too much. Fizzy drops behind Rumbos now. So it's just... Yeah, these wets are not doing it. He's definitely waiting for the drives. Mantis is going to come in. Rumbos is going to stay out. Fizzy's surely going to come in. Surely. Surely. No. He's going to stay out. Mantis is coming into the pits. Is it going to be for dries? Fastest lap of the race for Kelly in the meantime, 138.7. D-Bob gets past David. These two are fighting side by side. David to the inside, but he spins. And D-Bob is going to win in that battle. David just going off the... Well, because at the moment it's just there's a dry line forming. Yellow flags again. David has retired from the session. Safety car. Rumbos is going to lead us away. He's going to be the one to decide when we go back to green flag racing. And it's going to be now. The pedal is to the metal on the pit straight. Fizz has managed to nail that restart and he's to the inside of Rumbos. They're wheel to wheel as they head through turn 2 now. Fizzy has the inside line. Fizz has the lead. Rumbos trying to fight back down the inside. He can't quite get it. Mantis trying to get involved as well, but he can't quite get involved as well. And Rumbos on the exit. Well, he's just staying in P2. He's not going for any ridiculous moves. Pylon, yeah, I don't know why the HUD always says that. He can pile on the pressure as he goes to the inside of the Mercedes. He's to the inside and to the lead, but there's contact between the 2 championship rivals as JPS has gone flying into the rear of Rumbos. He was watching the battle ahead, and he's just hit the rear of his championship rival. He's got to try and push forward. Brilliant. That's somebody to ban, isn't it? In the chat. Can't ban him. I'm just going to leave it. Safety car again. What's happened? Neo's the latest driver to retire. I was distracted by a spam message in Twitch chat. Neo's retired. The second safety car of this race. Mantis. He waited a while to get going last time. This time, no such. Oh, it almost was as he slowed down around the final corner. It's going to be 3 wide as they head into turn 1. And Jay sweeps across. He leads this race. Mantis trying to scrap back. And he's fighting alongside Fizz. Fizz with that grip, with those softer tyres. And Mantis' safety car restart has played completely against him. He's now side by side for the final podium position between himself and Rumbos. Mantis is being squeezed almost into the wall by Rumbos. But the Mercedes clings onto the position. Mantis could dive to the inside. He's going to try to dive to the inside. He rides the curb. There's contact. There's an end plate going off of D-Bob. And it's just going to be between these two. And there was contact between them earlier. Fizz takes the lead of the race. There's contact between himself and Jay. And that allows Rumbos through alongside Fizz as they head into turn number 8. But Fizz stays ahead. Rumbos gets past Jay. Karma comes back to bite Jay. He made his debut in this league this evening. And he's made a splash. Victory for the Aston Martin. Victory for Fizz. A contentious one with penalties being thrown everywhere. Saw Jay come out on top of Rumbos, second and third, but Fizz, in his debut in the league, taking victory and announcing himself on the Neo Racing League scene. Jay would close the gap to 16 points, but Yuns Rumbos was still looking like the man to beat as we headed to our second sprint race of the season around Bahrain. We're going to go to the 5 red lights for the Bahrain sprint race. It's lights. And it's action. We're away for the sprint race as predicted. Yuns Rumbos gets off to a great start and he's going to lead into turn 1. There's contact though behind. Matt has retired before even the first corner. I think there was contact between himself and possibly Jolan. I'm not 100% sure on that, but regardless, Matt has binned it in the wall. Rampant Gamer looking to establish himself, looking to attack Hamflap Kelly as the DRS is open for the first time in this race, looking down the inside into turn number 4. And they're side by side as they head out of it and into the S's. Kelly running pretty much off the track. There's contact between the two. There's quite significant contact between the two. They're both run off the circuit. The hard runners are in decent positions. Fizz currently in a podium, although that could change all of a sudden as Mantis heads it down the inside. Fizz trying to hold on to the outside line. We've been here before. And Fizz just not quite having the run, but trying to force it. And he has run himself into the side of Mantis and off the road down behind Kelly. Who is that going wide? That's D-Bob. There's chaos going on all of a sudden as the addition of another driver into this battle of Fizz has just... everyone is just going a little bit mental down here at the bottom. There's yellow flags out as that... What on earth was happening there? I think that was... We might get an X-rated warning on stream for what March and Jacob were just doing on the stream there. But Jacob to the inside of D-Bob. He makes the move stick. He made the move stick on March as well. He drops down to P4. Neo's going to make it through and pump Mantis into turn 1. Rumbos isn't going to make the same move. The Haas gets through. Rumbos tries to find a gap, but Mantis too focused on Neo ahead, and he's trying to attack him. Rumbos, though, to the inside line. He gets the move done. He could get it done on Neo as well as he looks again to the inside. This time a turn number 4, and he makes the move stick. Neo with that switch back possibly, but no, because Mantis is putting the Haas under pressure. There's contact as Mantis backed out, and Jolan didn't notice. Jolan is now to the outside. Mantis sending it, but possibly sending himself off the circuit. Jolan trying to take the too tight a line. This is contentious, these moves. Maybe to get rid of those softs, interestingly enough, but Neo sending it to the inside of Rumbos. No fear from the Haas driver. And he's going to wait for the exit out of turn 3. And what a lovely exit that is. The Haas pulling to the inside line and pulling ahead. He's maintained the gap that he had at the start. And JPS, this will be the easiest victory of his life. He takes victory in the sprint race. We're going to go to the 5 lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's lights. And it's action. We are away for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Jay gets an absolutely incredible start. Rampant Gamer gets an awful one. He's attacked into turn one by both Kelly and Matt. Kelly to the inside, Matt to the outside. Kelly trying to push through. There's an incident once again involving, I believe, Marchmeister and the two Hasses and Pump Mantis as well as they headed through turn number one. Mantis coming into the pits with the damage. Kelly looking to the inside of Rampant Gamer, getting the position sealed nice and easily. Rampant Gamer with a little bit of contact on the exit with Matt. And what's happened to Rumboss? He's must have squirmed out of turn three because he's lost the position to Fizz. Still side by side though between Kelly and Rampant Gamer. Kelly holding on to P2 once again, but this battle could heat up incredibly quickly, especially with Fizz being invited into it. And he's going to look to the inside. It's 2 by 2. It's like Noah's Ark as Kelly edges out Rampant Gamer. Fizz and Matt still side by side. Rampant Gamer getting actually past Kelly in the end as Kelly was the first one to put the brakes on for turn number 7. And it's still side by side. Matt and Fizz did the impossible and went through turn 8 wheel to wheel. Kelly fighting back with Rampant Gamer. DRS was available for the Red Bull, which helped him edge past the Williams. And there's contact again, a little bit of netcode contact, but contact nonetheless between himself and Rampant Gamer. Matt and Fizz still side by side, those softs coming alive for the Aston Martin. And he moves up into P4. Rampant Gamer attacking Kelly into the final corner. Rumboss attacking Matt. And so this group of 5 drivers are really pushing each other to the limit. And Kelly exceeding the track limits. Jay, though, with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. 3.3 seconds is the gap between himself and Kelly. And he could have the most boring weekend ever. This is not going to be a boring weekend, though. For these 3, they go 3 wide momentarily. Rampant Gamer edges out Fizz, who edges out Kelly, who drops down 2 positions in the space of a lap. Rumboss still in P5 ahead of Matt in P6, but Kelly looking to attack Fizz, just backing out of the move. Continue to battle, which I have no doubt they will as Fizz moves to the inside. I have no doubt they will continue to battle and continue to go the gap ahead. Kelly to the inside of Rampant Gamer. He could get the move done on Fizz as well. That would have been sensational, and he's still clinging to the inside of turn number 3. Heading up the hill, DRS is available for the Red Bull to pull off the impossible move. And there at the bottom of your screens is an important information, a piece of important information, possibly for the title. Yuns Rumboss has left the session. And I think this could be Rumboss's race over. This race, though, is just getting started. Almost 3 wide once again as Kelly and Matt are side by side. Matt to the inside line. And contact, I think, maybe, or maybe he just got a little bit eager on the revs, but he loses out. 5th place is where he drops down to almost 6th with Jolan. Jacob gets disqualified from the session. So in he comes, maybe being a little bit cautious, but we had just seen Kelly get a penalty. Yeah, and then he gets hit in the rear by D-Bob, who's coming to the pits a little bit quicker. And then couldn't seem to move. I think he's going to be behind Fizz. And maybe side by side even with Rampant Gamer as they head through turn number 1. Indeed he is. And Kelly trying to activate those hards almost instantly as these two come together on track once again. Rampant Gamer just behind, and Kelly squeezes Rampant Gamer off the track. Rampant Gamer is able to get going again. Kelly not so well. He's just been absolutely on top of. Only time he wasn't was sprint qualifying. Ever since then. What is he doing? Why would he do that? The safety car is in this lap. The drivers are getting ready to get going again, and they're going to be led away by Fizz, who's on 9-lap-old hards. Rampant Gamer in second is also on... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Matt's retired.
Temperature, remember, there's no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
It was me. Yeah.
He's lost both end plates. And that's the Ferrari out of the race. I'll be very interested to see what happened there. But Fizz is going to take us back to green flag racing. And he's going to take us back to now. Green flag racing. It's pedal to the metal. It's foot to the floor. And Fizz leads us away. Rampant Gamer closing in as they head into turn number 1. He's going to look to the inside line. Diving in to the inside of Fizz. Jolan trying to hold on to the outside line. Can't quite do so. And Rampant Gamer switching once again to the inside line. for turn number 4. And he's going to cling onto it with any means necessary. Fizz has allowed him the space. Rampant Gamer squeezes Fizz wide. Jolin looks to try and get involved now. Backs out of the move. But Rampant Gamer takes the lead of the race. And we got confirmation there from Matt that it was, in fact, his tyres not warming up no matter what. Kelly's retired. Hey? What on earth is going on? Anyway, Kelly's retired. And the other hand, Flap Jolin is attacking Fizz for that P2 spot. Those medium compound tyres will have so much more grip. And, yeah, he's actually lost out in the end. He had the position easily, but then he lost out. March closing in on Jolin. It should be a pretty simple overtake for the Red Bull as he pulls alongside. That slipstream, though, has gone away as he's pulled alongside, and so he's going to have to make it stick through the corner. But Jay trying to send it again to the inside. Another missed braking point, and now he's missing one end plate of his front wing. He's going to get past Jolin with the DRS down the next straight button. If he moved from Jay, that could see the stewards investigate. And that was after the sprint race, I believe. Yeah, it was after the sprint race. D-Bob, though, looking for the move on JPS. Jay just allowing him that move. One final time. We've got 4 different drivers that could be taking victory in this race. And at the moment, Rampant Gamer's on top. Jay looking to the inside line of D-Bob into turn number 1. It'll be a huge send if he can pull it off. He does. And he almost makes the move on Fizz as well. But round goes Jay. And he drops down to P4. His front wing end plate has taken a battering today. And he loses it once again. They're not close enough to make a move. And Fizz is 6 tenths behind as Rampant Gamers left the session. I think I've had a disconnect. Game crashed. Everybody's game has crashed, unfortunately. A wild one that ended off in disappointing fashion, but Rampant Gamer would take his first victory of the season, the second in 2 races to win on debut. Yuns Rumbos had a poor one, having a disconnect, and so falling into the clutches of Jay, just 2 points ahead as we headed to the Qatar Grand Prix. 29 laps of the Qatar Grand Prix are ahead of us. It's lights. And it's action. We are away for the Qatar Grand Prix. Yuns Rumbos gets an absolutely incredible start. Fizz behind, though. He's going to get swarmed. There's 4 wide as they head into turn number 1. Fizz is able to squeeze everybody else out. It's 4 wide now behind as Kelly is able to take the advantage in that battle. Goes up alongside Jay, almost ahead of Jay. Now he slightly cuts that corner. He's going to try to get ahead of Jay, but the momentum has just been broken. And so he drops back down. He has to settle for P4. But just unable to seal that deal. Marcel retires from the session. He's crashed into the wall. And there's a safety car. That will give him the psychological advantage. Fingers has retired from the session. We've got a second safety car. He's dropped down another position. And he's dropped... he's almost dropped down to P7. We've got chaos going on ahead as JC tries to go down the inside of Handflap. Kelly, he's alongside as they head to turn number 7. He's just trying to cling on, but Kelly braking later. Rampant Gamer appearing from absolutely nowhere. He's going to get through. P4 is going to be his, unless JC can do anything about it. No, he can't. He's off into the gravel trap, and he's dropping like a stone all the way down to P10, 11, almost 12th. He is going to be 12th behind his teammate. So that's going to be the absolutely crucial points, because he is the only penalty-free driver that will, well, the penalties will affect in this race. Rampant Gamer looking to the outside of Jay, looking to make the overtake. He's just hit the rear. Jay getting the come from that Singapore move. Rampant Gamer very graciously handing the position back, but not handing that gap back. And Handflap Kelly he's free of the DRS. I thought we'd see more penalties, to be honest. Not everyone has a penalty apart from Rumbos, but I thought we'd see more penalties. More drivers around the 15s. Jay gets past Handflap Kelly, who retires from the session. Handflap Kelly on the penultimate lap of this race has binned it heading into turn number 1. Somebody who's dominated since the safety car restart. Fizz is going to come across the line. His second victory in the Neo Racing League. And what a dominant one it is. Fizz demonstrated his abilities around the Losail International Circuit. And Yuns Rumbos only just edged the gap a little bit wider between himself and Jay. But with Jay having double the amount of points of Neo in third, it was definitely just going to be a battle between the top two for the rest of the season. Kota was next with an equally dramatic spectacle.
4, 5 red lights. And the wheels are spinning in Kota. Good start from Marcel, good start from Jay. Rampant is already alongside Jay on the outside as we head into the first corner. 3-1 moment nearly between JC and Rampant and Jay. Rampant goes off the track, so does Matt, who is fighting with the Haas at the moment. But Marcel has a good start, which I just keep missing that point, but there you go. 3 wide heading into the corner. Kelly and Marcel squabbling against one another. Marcel's forced off the track. And Jay is... I think Kelly just let him through. Yeah, Kelly might have just let Marcel through. But Marcel's now losing 2 positions back again. The top 3 are just changing positions like crazy. There you go. Effectively shoot Fizz and Marcel are currently. As I just saw Fingers crash out on the pit exit, and that's a safety car. JC has retired in pits, so that leaves 10 people driving in this race. Joel is fighting with Mantis. We see Marcel with Fizz fighting for the position. Fizz is on the outside, Marcel's on the inside. Bit of a bumping between the two. Who's gonna get ahead? There's contact, which one miss forces Fizz to spin. We see Matt and Marcel. Matt was looking on the outside, but not quite. Fizz is sticking his nose through the inside. He spins. He's going 360, and he's gonna lose the positions as a result of that. Slowly but surely, Marcel has barely any battery to use. So does Matt. But look at Kelly, who's just high pumping hits with the freaking left-hander, and he's got nearly 2 positions. But Matt is gonna keep that position for now. But Kelly has a better traction. They're still going side by side, ending into the left-hander there, the sharp left-hander. And Matt keeps the position from Kelly. There's still a couple of corners to go. Matt is going to go one last potential time to attack. Marcel on the outside, potentially not quite. Kelly fighting with Jay for that P3 on track. Jay's on the inside, Kelly on the outside. Jay's got tagged by Kelly. Loses the position to Kelly, but... Oh, they didn't lose the position, but they lost time to Kelly. But yeah, there you go. We're now heading through the third sector of this race. There's only 2 corners to go. We have seen quite a battle for the leadership. And the winner of this race will be Marcel for the first time in the Racing League. Marcel wins the United States Grand Prix.
Marcel taking a hard-fought victory with Rumbos in second and Jay in third post penalties. And Rumbos opened up the gap. It was 6 points now between himself and Jay as they headed to the Brazilian Grand Prix for the 11th round of the season.
The lights are about to go out. 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And the wheels are spinning in Interlagos. Good start from Jay, good start from Marcel. We see Shootfish jump up to third place, getting ahead of DJTT. Rampant and David also get ahead of the Haas driver. Basu got 3 places. Robsy College and Kelly has gone to position or 2. Rambos is dropping quite massively, dropped to 11th now. He's fighting for the 10th position with Blobster. But yeah, so far so good in the start, surprisingly. We see Marcel jump ahead of Jay, heading into the end of the first sector, and now Marcel is the leading car. Strong start from the Haas driver, but Boston goes for a dive and clips David on the right hand side, and David has throwing damage because of that dive bomb, and Boston takes 5th place. There's not going to happen. He's going to record that for sure, knowing him. Blobster is looking at the move at David, heading into the final left-hander, final corner in the third sector. 3 wide moment nearly between Blobster and JC, but JC gets through into P6. Bassam is in trouble against JC. He's switching lines there. for the braking zone, not allowing JC to take the position. We see Blobster now on the move, potentially, for P5 against Bassam. Bassam's defending aggressively. Who's it going to be? First corner, Blobster actually got ahead of JC. They're both fighting for P6, a bit of a contact between the two. Just a chaotic moment at this stage. On lap 3, we saw DJTT and Shootfish switch positions for 3rd and 4th. We missed that, but yeah, there's just so much going on from that pack from 5th place onwards. But yeah, Bobster, bit of a bump into the rear of Bassam. Looks for the outside move potentially. It will be quite a miracle if he can pull it. Bassam pushes him off the track, and Lobster has lost multiple positions. Bassam's retired from the session, and that's a virtual safety car. Shootfish will, I believe, get DRS. Yes, he does. And so will DJTT, who is going to get past Marcel. Look at Jay nearly taking the position. Bit of a bumping between the Haas and Aston Martin. Yellow flag in the second sector for Jolin, who has lost it. And he's coming back. In the last position. But look at Shootfish and DJTT going side by side, heading to the S's. Matt's getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. DJTT overtook Shootfish in the S's and gets the lead from the Marcel, and that's a safety car because Devil's just crashing to the start-finish line, start-finish straight. With David waiting on wings. Could David also be in the move for that inside move? Crash between the two. David might have been too overzealous, and he just crashed into the barrier and lost his front wing entirely. Kelly takes the position, but watch out for Blobster, who could potentially go for a move. No, Rupsy is going to attack Kelly instead into the right-hander, which will follow by a left-hander, and now the 90-degree left-hander. So good. Rupsy is going to stick his wheel in. Kelly is going to leave him space respectfully, and yeah, Rupsy seems to be ahead, but Blobster is now going to capitalize on that attack. As we see 5 cars go there, and Kelly crashed into the barrier. Contact between him and the Alpine, who's fighting Williams at the moment. The Alpine gets ahead of the Williams. Kelly dropping it to 11th and without the front wing. And outside of points he goes. Blobster against Cola for P6 in the S's. Williams on the inside, Alpine on the outside. Switching back to the inside now for Alpine. Williams going to fight it through. Alpine might have better traction, but Williams might have better top speed. Williams still on the inside, Alpine on the outside. Who is going to get who? They're still side by side, they're getting into the DRS straight, but there's also Jay who's looking on the inside, but he spins and damages his front wing as a result. 3rd sector yellow flag, that is for Jay, who's going to go into the pits again. But we see Alpine, Williams, and Sauber fighting against Mantis, now joining the fight between the Alpine and Williams. He's a bit more compromised than he was before. And Marcel's looking for a move on DJTT. And he gets ahead. As DJTT virtual safety car? I think there was a contact between DJTT and Marcel. Yeah, if DJTT has no front wing, that will get that DRS back from Mantis. I mean, we'll see. Oh, that's going to do. Jacobs retired. Crashed out. That's a safety car deployed. As we head now to lap 34 of 36. Marcel using everything on his disposal, going for the inside move on the SS. Will he get it through? This he does. Yes, he does. But he will lose DRS to Shootfish. Now JC gets a 3-second time penalty after being squabbled into the long left-hander. But Shootfish is going to get it back. Marcel's going to fight it back. Still sticking with him side by side. Heading into the long left-hander. Shootfish being aggressive on the defense. But Marcel still gets ahead. And the Rob Lobster now gets ahead, and also JC. Does Fizz have damage? No, he doesn't. At least visually. But JC now, ahead of Shootfish. Shootface is gonna fight it, looking in the inside. JC's pushing away and gets it through. But let's look at the teammate, Marcel. DRS gets ahead of Lobster. Lead on the track belongs to Marcel now. But there's still one more DRS straight to navigate through. Lobster, Battery, DRS, switching to the outside. And gets ahead of Marcel momentarily. Contact between the two people squeezing, they're both slide. And JC inherits the lead. Marcel and Lobster have just cost themselves massively. JC's in the lead, but Shootfist, look at Shootfist, who's still sticking with them. JC, look at the penalties. Oh my, Gombros has dropped to 7th as well. Oh, good lord. Heading into the final corner now. JC. Or Shootfist, who's it gonna be? On penalties we already know who it's gonna be. But who's gonna be on track? Is it gonna be Shootfist? It's gonna be JC! It's gonna be Shootfist on the penalties, but it was pretty much a photo finish across the line.
A poor race saw Rumbos and Jay the last of the points finishers, but a podium would go Rumbos' way post penalties that saw him extend the gap to 12 now between himself and Jay at the top of the standings as they head in the final sprint race of the season in Japan.
One, two, three, 4, 5 red lights. And the wheels are spinning for the final sprint race of the season. Good start from Jay, good start from Shootfist. Rumbo seems to be looking for a move around the outside. No, he's not quite enough, but look at Shootfist and Jay fighting through the first corner. But Jay keeps that position away from Shootfist. We see also JC and actually Rampant got ahead of Rambos there in that first 2 corners. Yeah. Jay with a strong start, there you go. We have lots of positions there. We lost 2 cars there. Mantis and Cola. Rambos is waiting for that move in the start finish straight. He's just waiting for that DRS, but we see Alistar attacking and taking 2 positions from both Rampant and Rambos, and Alistar in his debut in the sprint race is already on into the 3rd place. You see Fist flashing slide for a brief moment. He's low on battery seemingly. Look at Jay, he has DRS. He has battery also on his disposal, so he goes through the through Aston Martin on the outside and takes the position. Now he's gonna stay behind the Mercedes, who seems to be struggling on the traction. Who's gonna take it at the end? It's gonna be Jay. Who's gonna win his 3rd in a row? And JPS wins the 3rd final sprint race of the season. But nevertheless, the lights are going out and the wheels are spinning for the Japanese Grand Prix. Seems like DJTT has a good start. Marcel also has a good start. Jay and Rambos are side by side. Rambos on the inside takes a position away from Jay, who's now fighting Alistar for that 4th place. And Jay is now losing 2 positions in the first 2 corners. Was in danger for losing it to Lobster there. But yeah, strong start from the top 2. Rambos, Alistar, JPS, a yellow flag for Nat, who spun it at the S's. Debob also has some kind of a problem. Maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, back to the top. DJTT, Marcel, Rambos, Alistar, JPS, Lobster, Shootfist, JC, Ropsy, and Pop Kelly swapping positions with the Williams. One of them just went off the track, and I think it was Ropsy. Actually, it was both of them. It was both of them that went off. Every single time he's finished, he's been on the podium. Rampant has crashed out in the exit of S's, and that's a safety car deployed. Alistar took away the position from Mantis. JC retired! He's crashed out at the S's, that's a safety car deployed! Lap 21 to lead the pack, and it will begin now. The 2nd restart. And Marcel's already looking at the move on the outside of Kelly. Contact between the 2. Marcel's off track, letting DJTT retake the position. And Kelly now lost the position to DJTT in the S's. And DJTT is not going to try and pull away and create a 3-second gap between himself and Marcel. Marcel now gets ahead on the SS. Contact between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Red Bull's round. Kylie's got damage, I think. Blaster has retired. Who else has been involved? I'm not sure. There's Ali Star off the track. Robsy Cola off the track as well. Who looked at one point to be in a good position to win this race. But now he's losing the position to Jay somewhat. Still going to get DRS. He's going to use all the batteries he has at his disposal. Jay also will try and defend it. Goes to the inside, Marcel. Will he take it? Yes, he does. But look at Rambos on Jay. When Jay and Rambos bump wheels, allows Rambos to take the advantage and take the third place away from his teammate. From a reserve in Brazil to a winner in Japanese Grand Prix.
DJ TT and Marcel both deserved the race victory here, but it was definitely a weekend victory for Jöns Rambos, who took 2 points out of Jay's championship challenge, and heading into round 12 where every point counted, he was now 11 ahead.
3, 4, 5 lights all around Spa-Francorchamps, and the wheels are spinning in the Belgian Grand Prix. Decent start from Neo. I think Schuff is looking on the inside move, and also contact with Neo. There's a debris from, I think, one of the Aston Martins. It is Schuffis, who doesn't have a wing game plate. And now Rampant Gamer and Schuffis almost going side by side through Eau Rouge, with Gamer taking the lead ahead of the Aston Martin. Neo losing 2 positions. Gola stays where he is. Jay has lost the position to Mantis. Hanflap Kelly actually gained 3. Matt dropped to the very back. Schuffis seemingly seems to be utilizing his DRS. There's the end plate coming off from Neo. He crashed into Schuffis. And now Neo and Schuffis are in the same predicament. Yellow flag in the third sector. That is for Jay, who has spun it at the bus stop chicane and has dropped back to the 9th position. Rambos has slowed down. Must have been collision between the teammates. Otherwise, why would Rambos slow down that much? He just lost nearly a second to his teammate. Schuffis retired. He crashed out. And that's a safety car deployed with Schuffis just before the feint corner, crashing out. As we see now, Neo and Kelly squabbling for P7 as they go through Eau Rouge and Radion. Who's going to get ahead of who? It's going to be Kelly on Neo, and Kelly showing balls of steel and getting ahead of the Haas to take P7. We see Gamer and Mantis fighting for it, and also Robsy Cole getting involved. Now Williams going side by side, heading into Lake Com, with Robsy defending position away from his teammate, and Mantis now dropping to 3rd, with Bomb Mantis very close on the rear of the second Williams ahead. And there you go, Mantis pushing on. Could this be 2-1 for the Sauber driver from Great Britain? And that is the case for him, and he takes the lead on lap 12. We saw Jay also overtake Matt for P4, and Mercedes driver extends his advantage over his teammate Rambos, who's just been nowhere. But now we are going after Radion now. Rampant will try and attack. Barely any battery in his disposal. Mantis will defend as much as he can, heading into Lake Comp, but Rampant gets ahead. And Jay also got ahead of Robsy there, and Jay's back in the podium position for the first time in this race. But look at Robsy, who's going to try and fight it back with the Rivage on the inside. Jay cannot stick it through. Robsy's going to get it back, with Bomb Mantis being in the prime position to retake that position. Another 3-second time penalty for Matt, as Mantis looking at the outside move on Rampant, and comfortably with the DRS gets ahead, and also Jay got ahead of Robsy there and takes that 3rd place back. Matt slowly getting back to that back, but not quite to get DRS. We see Rampant get ahead, and now Jay, look at Jay, who could take 2 of them on the inside before Lake Com, but Jay is now in the lead of the race. But the contact between him and Rampant goes off track, which will allow Mantis to inherit the position. And also Robsy might look on the inside into Rivage, and also might try and get it on Mantis. Contact between the two. Robsy backs out of it. Side by side go through to both Williamses. Rampant goes off the track again, and Robsy takes that 3rd place. Don't pay attention to that. Rampant and Mantis fighting through the bus stop, with Rampant seemingly ahead of Mantis. They both dropped out of DRS. And Robson gets ahead of Jay after the bus stop and takes that position away from Jay. But Jay will get DRS on the DRS straight after Radion. Yeah, it's pretty much Rampant and Mantis at the moment for P3 on track, with Jay pretty much having fun against Robsy, I would assume. That is, if we can stay within 3 seconds. Goes on the grass there, Jay, to try and overtake Robsy back. And manages to eventually get that position back from the Williams. Heading into the final lap of this race. Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Jay? Is it gonna be Robsy? Is it gonna be Mantis? Is it gonna be Rampant? Who out of them four is gonna be the victorious one today around the streets of Belgium? As you can see, Robsy going in the inside of La Sauce, and he takes the position away from Jay on track. The question is, who's going to get DRS once they approach the DRS opening zone at Radion? Will it be Robsy? Will it be Jay? It will be Jay who's going to get DRS back from Robsy. But look at Mantis, who's closing in on Cola. But not close enough for any kind of move there. Also, Rampant is waiting on the wings to try and attack. Mantis, a bit of a wide approach on the exit, which will allow Rampant to close in on him. Bog tap between Jay and Robsy, heading into Rivage. Now they're going to approach Puan, both of them. The top four is still close within one another. It's been pretty much for the majority of the whole race between these four drivers. With Jay the leading car, Robsy now going off the track at Puan, looking for any kind of space to attack, as they now go through Fein section, which will follow up with the campus for the final time this race. Now Robsy's losing slightly on the exit of Fein, but seem to get a bit wider goes than usual there. Robsy, he will lose out a bit to Jay here. But look at Mantis though, who is heading to the bus stop chicane through Blanchemont. Now they go. Could it be a potential second place move for Sauber? No, he's going to stay back behind the Williams. But Jay, BS 4147, will win the Belgian Grand Prix and will keep his championship chances alive.
Yet another incident between the two championship contenders causes further controversy in this Neo Racing League season. And with one round to go, we couldn't have scripted it any better, really. Jay and Jens Rumbos were joint at the top of the standings, with Jay coming back incredibly in that Belgian Grand Prix to take victory. He definitely had the momentum heading into Britain. However, Jens Rumbos could afford to finish outside of the top 10 as long as Jay finished outside of the top 10 as well, because of the amount of wins that they picked up across the season. Rumbos with 3 and Jay with 2. Britain beckoned for another season finale.
5, 4, 5 red lights for the final race of the season. And the wheels are spinning at Silverstone. Good start from Jay. DJTT also had a decent start, but look at JC around the outside, heading through the first 2 corners. JC still side by side with the Ferrari, heading into the next corner, the right-hander. They're still fighting side by side, trying through Aintree to do a switchback, but can't quite pull it out. And DJTT stays in second, with Alistar jumping ahead of Neo. Actually, no, Neo gained positions as well. Mantis dropped to Robsy has gained the place. Rambos had a shocking start. He's dropped down to 8. Kelly and Rambos are now swapping places, heading into Lawfield. Contact between Mantis and Williams. Multiple cars involved in this one, which leaves Rambos dropping to 9th place. Crazy things going on as we see Kelly and Robsy calling Rambos swapping positions. Rambos now down to 11th, outside of points. What's going on with Rambos? Does he have damage to his front wing? Yes, he does. On the right-hand side of his car, he has no end plate, and that is pretty much costly in terms of the championship chances. And DRS will now be enabled through this straight, which will mean DJTT and JC will attack on both sides of Jay. But who will be the first one going through the right-hander, through Stowe? It's JC and DJTT still going through side by side, heading into clubs. Ferrari on the inside, Sauber on the outside. Who's going to get who? Will it be a Hamilton moment there? No, it's not quite. But DJTT has a better traction off that corner, and there you go. DJTT in the Ferrari takes the lead of this Grand Prix. But JC is looking on the inside of the Ferrari. Contact between the two, which makes JC spin and lose positions to Neo, Jay, and Alistar. Look at Alistar, who's very close in the rear of Jay, as well as Neo, who's looking around the outside of Stowe. Not quite there. But watch out for Jay, who's taking the opportunity to go on the inside. And he takes the position from Neo, but Neo's gonna stick still through the inside, but backs out of it eventually. But look at Alistar fighting through against Neo. And now JC overtaking Alistar for 4th place. So let's see what's gonna happen then on lap 8 on this DRS straight heading into Stowe. Jay will have DRS, will switch to the inside instead of the outside, and will retake the position from the Ferrari, just like that. With DJTT also picking up a penalty, 3 seconds, but he's looking on the inside, heading into club, and he retakes the position from the championship contender. Yeah. Well, we'll carry on with how it is, so if nothing worse, then it's fine, it's whatever. Alistar just got... Yeah, exactly. Well, they can at least guess what is going on in the party, so it's fine. Yep, he's gonna go now. Yep, Jay on the inside, just about gets ahead of David, and it takes 8th position from the Haas. Yeah, he does have ERS, but he does have a... Debob's retired. Safety car! Yeah, Ropsy got ahead before the cars. Contact between the two! And both of them out! Oh no, it's just Ropsy! And that's another safety car deployed! Yep, JC on the outside. Once they head onto the corner before Luffield, down he goes. And JC... Yeah, he does hang in there. Going through Luffield, both of them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but we have a switch for the lead with Alistar and JC. JC tries to switch back onto the Stowe. Through Vale. Now going into the club with Alistar. Alistar's through. As we now head... Yeah, Alistar's just trying everything at this stage to keep that position. I mean, with the penalties, he might still get it. But, you know, that allows actually Jay to close in. With them both fighting at the front. Final DRS straight. We're about to approach Alistar, JC, and Jay heading through that straight before Stowe. JC's on the inside. Alistar's gonna fight it back on the outside. Who's gonna get it? Go through Elf, going through club. Still side by side. Alistar still ahead of JC. And it looks like Alistar might just take it on track, with Alistar winning the British Grand Prix, which means JPS 4147 is the Neo Racing League Division Alpha Season 3 champion.